This is a question in trigonometry. Now the question asks us to look for the base angle, and the base angle is theta. Now what do we do? But the first thing we're going to do is to take a closer look at the triangle. What type of triangle is this? If you notice, AB is 7n and AC is 7n, but BC is 6n. And this tells you that the triangle is an isosceles triangle. And if that is true, it therefore means that you can divide the triangle with this construction from the point of A to meet, let's call this M. This will make here 3n, 3n. 3n, 3n because the base of the triangle BC is 6n. And so since it's an isosceles triangle, the dimension from B to M will be equal to C to M. So we'll divide 6n into 2, and we'll have 3n, 3n. Now, this gives us a right angle triangle. Either of the triangle is a right angle triangle. If we consider ABM or ACM, same thing. So at this point, I can decide to construct one of the triangle because I'm actually looking for the base angle theta. So let's assume I decide to construct, I'm going to have a triangle like this. Let me construct here. It's going to become something like this. Where this is your 3n, let's put it here. This is your theta, 7n. This is A, B, M. So at this point, I've gotten a right angle triangle. Now, this side AM facing the given angle, which is theta, is the opposite. Remember, this is right angle, so the side facing right angle is the hypotenuse, and of course, this becomes the adjacent. So in this case, I am looking for theta. There is no value for AM, which is the opposite, but I have BM, which is the adjacent, and AB, which is the hypotenuse. So I'm going to use what we call SOHCAHTOA. In this case, I'm using cos. Theta is opposite over, adjacent is cos. Adjacent over hypotenuse. So this is your adjacent. Sorry about that. And this gives you cos theta. Your adjacent is 3n, and your hypotenuse is 7n. Automatically, this will cancel out. And so you'll be having cos theta equals to 3 divided 7, 0.4286. Now to get the value of theta, you have to look for the cos inverse of 0.4286. If you use your scientific calculator by punching second function and cos, and the value here, you're going to have 64.62 degree, which gives theta approximately 65 degree as the base angle. Now this is another question. Let's call this question number 2. The previous one we solved is question number 1. Now in this triangle, we could see that we have 2 parallel lines that are running. And then the triangle seems to be divided into segments. This is P, 6, 5, and 4. And the question asks us to look for P. Now to do this, we have to consider the entire triangle. The entire triangle, it's this to this. So we take the ratio of the triangle. This question is actually under geometric ratios. So it's going to be P ratio 6 is equal to 5 ratio 4. You're going to cross multiply to get a value for P, which is 5 multiply 6 divide 4. And if you cancel out, you're going to have 5 multiply 3 divide 2, which gives you 15 divide 2. And that gives P to be 7.5. This is another beautiful question in geometric ratio. We are looking for Q and R. Again, we're going to compare ratios. But you don't just compare any ratio. You have to be careful when you compare ratios. Now, to get Q, we're going to compare the ratio of the entire triangle. So this is 9 ratio 3 is equal to 15 ratio Q. Now, this is quite easy when we consider the entire triangle. And we make Q subject formula, cross multiply. Q will take the position of the 9, and 3 will go to 15, multiply 15, and 9 takes the position of Q. And if you divide this, you're going to have 5. So Q is equal to 5. Now, how do we get R? Again, we're going to compare ratios. But again, we have to be very careful of the ratio we compare. Now, we'll consider the entire triangle again. This time around, we'll consider this side of the triangle. So I've gotten a value for Q, which is 5. So this would be R ratio 13.5 equal to, you see, I pick this R, so I'm going to pick Q, not pick 15. Divide or ratio Q, no, it's going to be Q ratio 15. And since I already know the value of Q, I'm substitute it inside and 5 ratio 15. You cross multiply. This implies you're going to have R to be 5 multiply 13.5 and divide 15. Here you're going to have 3. And if you divide 13.5 by 3, you're going to have, this is 4. You're left with 1, your decimal point, and put a 1 here into 15 is 5. So that's your answer, 4.5 for the value for R. This is another question where we're asked to look for X and T. Again, we are going to compare ratios. But like I said, you have to be very careful when you compare ratios. Now, this is pretty easy if we consider this triangle. So here, on the side, you have the X ratio 15. So it's quite easy to compare this. And the other side, you have of the triangle, 8 ratio 12. Now, when you compare ratio, you must ensure that the dimensions for the numerator will also be the dimension for the numerator of the other ratio you're comparing it with. If you make X subject formula, 8 multiply 15 divide 12. 4 here is 2, 4 here 3, 3 here 1, 3 here is 5, and X is 2 multiply 5, that should give you 10. Now let's get the value for T. Again, we have to consider this triangle. Very important. So how do you pick the values? Now if I'm picking T, ratio 6, it means here I'm going to pick 12 before I pick the 8, ratio 8. Again, you cross multiply. 12 will multiply 6, divide 8. So 4 here, 3, 4 here, 2, 2 here, 1, 2 here, 3. And that gives you 3 multiply 3. The value for T is equal to 9. So it's pretty easy for you to compare geometric ratios as long as you understand what you're doing and then you get a value. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe to Ben MATLAB. Please um, click the notification button to get new videos. And remember to tell me how you feel about my videos using the comment section. If there's a topic you want me to teach, put it there. And if you have a question, use it there. See you in the next video.